A pastime for Petunia is really sweet. The message is lovely, although it doesn't really help solve her problem of how she's going to actually do anything in her spare time, but nevertheless, it's a cute story. This is the first segment of the 28th episode of the first season of Baby Looney Tunes. And Petunia is trying to find a hobby, something that she's good at, that she can do. The other babies are all good at their own different things. Melissa Duck's doing some colouring in, Bugs is busy doing a puzzle, and Petunia just doesn't seem to be very good at anything. There's nothing that seems to work for her. And she ultimately has to try and find out what she's good at, something that she can do. That's not to say that you need to be good at something to be able to enjoy it. But I do like the fact that it's showing that everybody is good at something, and each of the babies has their own abilities, their own skills. What Petunia's is, I'll discuss with a spoiler warning in a moment, just in case you don't want to know. But I did think that while it's important, it doesn't really help Petunia. But Petunia is such a lovely, likable character. It was really sweet to follow her story, and I really felt for her when she kept getting more and more disheartened by the fact that just nothing seemed to work for her and nothing went her way. And it was kind of heartbreaking, but much to her credit, she persevered. And some of the other babies, mostly Melissa Duck, were being very helpful, which I think is also really nice. I think a lot of children, a lot of adults as well, let's face it, might feel at some point like they're not good at anything. I often feel like that, and you need other people to point out things you're good at. And much like, well, this is a spoiler. I'm going to spoil what happens now. Well, what Petunia's gift actually is. But much like Petunia, a lot of my talents are not something that I can practice in my spare time. Put it this way, I have no talent that I could go on to Britain's Got Talent with. And neither does Petunia, it seems. Her talent is that she's very good at helping other people. And that's such an important talent to have. I mean, I don't know if it's so much of a talent and more of a perseverance, but either way, it's something that's worth celebrating, and it's important that the babies point this out to Petunia and make her aware that this is a really lovely thing that she does. However, it doesn't really help her solve the problem of something she can do actively, like Melissa Duck doing her colouring in or Bugs doing a puzzle. It's not something that can keep her busy in quiet times. So it doesn't really help her. It's not exactly a pastime for Petunia, as the title suggests, but it is still very sweet. And of course, a really important message that being helpful for other people is such an important quality. So it's a nice episode, it's a nice message. It doesn't really solve the problem of finding a pastime for Petunia, but nevertheless, she's a lovely character, and it's a pretty enjoyable segment.